Racer here. If you've been following the big B-17 build videos, you know it's been a long time since there was an update. Earlier this year, I left a company I've been with for many years, and I started an exciting new job that's kept me incredibly busy for the last several months. So there's been a lot of delays, and I did lose a few months where I didn't touch the project at all. But recently, I've been able to get back to work on the Sweet Pea, and as you can see, progress is being made again. So here's what's been done since the last update. I framed out and foam sheeted the vertical stabilizer, adding lightning holes wherever possible. And after adding the vertical stab's trailing edge and hinge hardpoints, I began fabrication of the rudder. Now, similar to the elevators, the full-scale rudder was fabric covered, so I'm doing a balsa rudder that will be covered in Solartex. I'm opting for non-scale hinging on the rudder, but I don't think too many people will notice or care. So I debated placing the rudder servo in the vertical stabilizer for simplicity, but in an effort to keep the tail as light as possible, I've opted to place the servo further forward in the fuselage and run a pole-pole setup. The servo is recessed into the upper fuselage just after where the wing will attach. And using a nose wheel style adapter, some music wire, and a wheel collet, I built a simple mechanism to drive the rudder and connect the pole-pole cable. The control horn on this is brass and is brazed to the steel music wire. The arm that drives the rudder seats firmly into a ply pocket in the rudder. With both cables pulled tight, there is no slop in the linkage, and I'm very happy with it. With the rudder temporarily in place, I started sheeting the vertical spine and stabilizer with balsa. And with the side sheeting in place, I cut out the leading edge and replaced it with balsa and got it rough sanded to shape. And there'll be a balsa cap that'll be added to the vertical stabilizer to top everything off. So at this point, I'm just about ready to start sheeting the aft section of fuselage. But before I do, I've been test fitting the Cheyenne tail gunner position that I got from Wingspan Models. I also tossed on the horizontal stabilizers just to make sure everything's still in alignment. So that pretty much catches us up to where the build sits today, but I do have one additional update. Due to the delays I've already had and the fact that I expect to be very busy with the new job this build season, I've decided to go ahead and purchase additional parts from Wingspan Models. Now, these are all parts that I had planned to fabricate myself, but the quality of their parts of the parts from Wingspan Models, it's excellent. And the amount of time that this is going to save me will be huge. These parts include the superchargers, cheek blisters, top turret, ball turret, nose cone, a football antenna, and all of the windows. It also includes dummy radials, although I do still plan to finish my 3D model of the Wright Cyclone engine and print those for this build. Between these parts and the fiberglass parts from before, this model is relying heavily on the Wingspan Models B-17, and they absolutely deserve credit. These parts are excellent, they're worth every penny. So that brings us up to today. I'm going to keep grinding on this build, and I hope to have a lot more progress to share this build season. So until next time, thanks for watching.